what was the first topic? Was it Puritan?
So I finished it in 2020.
Okay.
So it's done.
Now it's done. Mode.
I'm done and over. But yeah, so when you do a doctorate, you have to do a dissertation at the end and write on it. And so you have to make a proposal. And originally the proposal was going to be Puritan preaching for the suburbs. So I was planting in the suburbs. It was completely nerdy. Nobody would care. I would have loved it and, gotten deep into books. But then eventually as a pastor, you hear people saying like, I feel like God's telling me or the Lord's telling me this, I should go here, come to your church or leave your church or whatever it is. And, and there's all like degrees of how they say it, but basically it's God told me, whatever, and as a pastor, you guys know this, like what it means for us to follow Christ is to follow the Spirit of Christ, right? Like, so I want people to be listening and praying and following God's leading in their life. But there's also a side of it that can be abused.
Yeah.
That's like, if I just say God told me, then you can't argue.
It's the trump card.
Totally. Yeah. Like, what are you going to, and I always say, like, when people...
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think, do you think that happens with like senior pastors with their board, the way they lead their board?
Oh, I think it happens to all of us at every level.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, like, I think we have to be really, really careful.
Yeah.
Like, and be aware of that. And it's funny because like somebody will say that, like, I feel like God told me we should preach on this or go here or do this or start this. And I'm like, well, God told me the opposite.
Yeah. Who's right?
So who's right?
Yeah.
That, right? So how? The big question is how? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
So that was the big, like, not from a, like, I don't think you should follow God.
Yeah.
Of course you should.
Yeah.
I just want, like, how did God want us to follow him?
Yeah.
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 That was it.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah. It's the verse, I know you mentioned it last night in the New Testament where it talks about like testing the spirit.
Or something.
Right?
Yeah.
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 So what's your, I don't know, without getting into it too much or giving the book, what's your practical how-to on that?
Yeah. So, I think there's a handful of questions you can ask. And I just kind of use the acrostic of the word gospel just to help me remember it. Yeah. So question number one is, whose glory is this really about?
Wow.
Like, is this for my glory or is this for God's glory? Because the Spirit will never lead you to glorify yourself. His whole job was always to lead to glorify Christ. And I don't think that's an easy answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we can do some mental gymnastics and put some language on some stuff to make it sound like we
can spin it. Yeah.
Totally.
For the glory of God.
Yeah. So I think you gotta dig around deep in your soul. That's why I don't think discernment's quick. Yeah. Because sometimes it's like, maybe I need to go to counseling. Mm-hmm. Maybe I need to like really dig in with my wife or so, that may take months to get. So
it's a little crock pot.
Yeah, totally. So glory of God is the big one. O is, what do other Christians that know me and know the Lord say about this before I make the decision?
Yeah.
Like,
is there, I'm sure it's not a magic number, but is there a floor and ceiling on how many people? Because what I found sometimes, that's really important to me. He knows I'm a processor. I need to process this with people, but I have had times in my life trying to discern what is God saying. And I've asked who many people?
Totally.
Yeah. All loving people, love the Lord, hear from God, whatever. But the waters get a little muddy.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm even more confused.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I'd say, like, you gotta be careful who you ask, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, does this person love the Lord?
Mm-hmm.
And then do they know me? Like, is there a track record there where you can get they have some history, they know where I haven't followed the Lord, where I have, where it's gone well, hadn't gone well, all that. And then, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but people will come and say like, oh, I've made this decision. Like, I think we should move.
Yeah.
And they've already made the decision,
Yeah.
They're just asking you to like bless their decision. And that's not discernment.
Yeah.
I think it's like, hey, the Lord might be leading us to move, but before I make that decision, you know me.
Yeah.
You know the Lord.
Yeah.
Rick,
What do you think?
Rick from our church calls it baked bread. He says, Pastor, I have a decision I need to make. I just want to let you know, I'm not giving you baked bread, meaning I haven't already made the decision.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because I think, it's just, I don't just want to be the confirmer of your thing. I want to enter into this with you.
Yeah.
Don't you think there's also an element of asking people who don't have skin in the game or might benefit from the decision one way or the other?
Yeah. I mean,
It's like the Rehoboam story.
yeah. I mean, you got to be careful. Like, if somebody's going to
not that someone
financially gain from you big time if you do this, or they're going to lose big time if you do this, like, I mean, that's where the glory of God thing kicks into this too. So that other's a big deal. I think it's why the church matters so much.
Yeah.
And why, like, I love that churches have gone online. I love that we do all of that, but that will never do what a key component of the church to do, all that one anothering.
Yeah.
That is so important. So the third one's S. What does Scripture say?
Yeah.
Like, what does the authoritative word of God say about, like, if God says don't do it, you don't have to discern it.
Yeah. You don't have to ask someone else about it.
No, you don't. Like, it's been discerned for you.
Yeah.
Like, God discerned you should not have sex outside of marriage.
Yeah. Decision.
No problem made. You don't have to discern whether you should like live with your girlfriend or not,
Yeah.
Or if God says do it, then you don't have to discern whether to do it or not.
Yeah.
So, and the Spirit of God will never lead you in a direction that is counter to the word He inspired to be written.
Yeah.
God's not a liar. I had a mentor who used to always say, God speaks like He writes.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
It's like, you want to know the will of God, know the word of God.
That's it.
Start there.
Yeah.
Are you an executive leader looking to level up? Or are you leading a team that could use a crash course into effective leadership? Our Leadership Masterclass teaches 7 essential leadership skills that you can implement immediately with your team. These are practical, proven strategies to help you lead with clarity and confidence. If you're ready to transform your leadership, sign up today at sidecarleader.com and get started with resources that you can use right away.
The joke is like, you want to hear God speak? Open your Bible and read it out loud.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He
has spoken.
Yeah. And so and even though that's third, it's just because it works in the little, across it. But like, you honestly should just start there.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
before you go any further.
P is, have you prayed about this?
Yeah.
And what I mean by pray is like, have you abided with Christ in this thing? Like, have you done John 15? Yeah. Our old home, our bedroom was always one story. Our bedroom was on one side and our kids' bedrooms were on the other side of the house, and we had wood floors. I could be in my bedroom and tell you exactly who was coming in my bedroom.
Wow. Because
I abided with my wife and kids for, 25 years. And I knew the sound of their footsteps. And I think sometimes we pray like, Lord, do you want me to do this? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, can we just let that breathe for a minute?
Yeah.
Like, does this smell like Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you know that is if you just abide with it.
Yeah.
For a while, I think.
Yeah.
And then, so GOSPE, evangelism.
Mm-hmm. Which most people probably would not. I mean, I don't think that's ever crossed my mind to put evangelism.
How does that fit in the framework?
So, in 1 John 4, he talks about people coming to know the Lord under this, like, discerning the spirits. And so, again, the Great Commission is go make disciples, right? Better way to say it is as you're going, whatever you're doing in your daily life. So wherever God is sending you, telling you to do, go make disciples.
Yeah.
So if you can't make disciples, or if this is going to hurt your disciple making, the Spirit of the Lord's not leading you to go there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, and I don't mean like get on a bullhorn and stand out there and yell at people. I mean, like, if this decision you're going to make is going to hurt your witness towards Christ.
Yeah. That's great.
That's
like,
really good.
Is this good? Are people, even people who aren't Christians, going to look at you and be like, I don't know, man,
That's weird.
that doesn't line up.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't really know Jesus, but that sure doesn't look like, you know.
It reminds me of, there was this little book years ago I read called Understanding God's Will, like Al Lake. Remember that guy?
I know exactly.
It's a crazy story. He only passed away. He was baptizing people in his church, and they handed him a microphone, and it was corded.
Was that in Waco? Was he in Waco, Texas?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was a terrible story. But this little book that he wrote, Understanding God's Will, he was specific about, it's not about discovering God's will, it's about understanding it. And he put it in this framework. It was like, here's 5 different things.
Yes.
Understanding God's will in the context of Father, understanding God's will in the context of Creator, or whatever. But one of them was understanding God's will in the context of mission. And it was kind of this concept where it's like, does this help me advance the gospel? Does this help me make disciples? Does it, I mean, it could be as practical as, if I purchase this and it reduces my margin to where I can no longer give towards missions, then that can't be God's will.
Yeah.
It's like even practical like that.
Yeah. I mean, our son right now, so we have a son that's 22. He's lives about half an hour from us, had a great job. He has the opportunity for a promotion, but it will mean he has to give some things up that he's involved in some other areas of ministry, not all of them, but a few of them. And so this is exactly what he's having to wrestle through right now. Like, and it's not clear cut. You can't just say like, because you can't be a student ministry volunteer, you shouldn't take this role.
Yeah.
But you can't ignore that in the process.
Yeah.
Like,
I've had to navigate that with career decisions as well, even fantastic job opportunities.
Right.
That would require me to move back to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
That pull me from the thing that I feel like God's put in front of me to help build right now. You know, so not that opportunity is bad. It's just pulling from that evangelistic mission that I think God has put in front of me at the moment. Yeah. So there's the no.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last one is lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And the Spirit will always lead you towards the fruit that the Spirit said he will produce in you. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you're a leader, whatever it is, and you have to just pound your fist on the table in a meeting and cattle drive your staff to get a thing done, that's not gentle. And that is not the fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And the Spirit will never lead you in a direction opposite the fruit he wants to produce in you.
That's great.
Here at Sidecar Leader, we don't just develop content that we hope adds value to you. Our bread and butter is really our coaching. If you're feeling stuck as a leader, whether you're navigating growth, strategic planning, staffing decisions, or tackling your toughest priorities, our one-on-one coaching sessions are here to guide you. Together, we'll identify the strategies and steps that will take your leadership to the next level. It's time to invest in your growth because your vision and your team deserve it. If you're ready to get started, you can visit sidecarleader.com/coaching. We can't wait to work alongside of you.
And so, like,
I heard someone talk about, I think it's in James, either 1 or 5. It says the wisdom from above is full of peace.
Yeah.
So therefore, if the decision doesn't bring peace, is it from God? And not to say that that's going to make it an easy decision.
Yeah. Well, I think, the peace thing is real. It's funny you bring that. The peace thing is really interesting because that's the one you hear all the time.
Yeah.
Which is so subjective too, though.
So
it's true.
It's subjective, but here's what's interesting. So the word peace in the Bible, it does mean like a feeling of calm, but that's really a secondary meaning to the word. Most of us think of it like a peaceful, easy feeling. Right. Like, okay, I'm like comfortable and relaxed if I make this decision.
Yeah.
What peace primarily means, shalom,
wholeness,
is scripture, is it means whole. It actually means not at war with God or whoever. So if you look at Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, he's sweating
Doesn't look like
blood. That is not a peaceful, easy feeling. But was he squarely in the will of God?
Yeah.
Yes, of course he was. Because he was lockstep with his Heavenly Father in that moment.
That's great.
And so I think we have to be really careful. I don't want to rule out, but I think we have to be really careful when somebody says, well, I just have a lot of peace about that.
It's not warm, fuzzy feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Like feelings are fleeting
Yeah.
and deceptive at best.
Yeah.
Like even a good feeling goes away. So be real careful making a decision on something that is 100% guaranteed not to last.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself enough to make decisions like
The heart is deceptive above all things.
Jeremiah.
Like, so follow your heart might be the worst advice ever.
You know, the other one is bad. I think it's one of those, God never said that, is the safest place to be is in the middle of God's will.
Yeah.
No.
That doesn't
Read Hebrews 11.
I have multiple times been in foreign countries and have guns pointed at my head
Yeah.
because of the gospel. It was not the safest place to be. Like home on my couch was much safer.
It's so funny how many things we little platitudes that we create that are just not biblical.
Totally.
Watered down.
Yeah.
Totally.
They make for a great sticker in a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to go here for a little bit. I think one of the things I love about you, man, is I love your heart for Jesus. Like you just, when I'm around you, I'm like, I need to be more like Adam because Adam's more like Jesus than I am. But, and I mean that, like, it's so inspiring. But what I think is fascinating is I've watched a lot of people walk through hard things in their life, like hardship, suffering, trials. I want you to speak to that a little bit because I know you have, but I watch people walk through it and they get more jaded and cynical and, whatever. And not to throw any shade on them, but anytime I'm around somebody like you that's like walked through fighting cancer, walked through everything you've been through.
Yeah.
And yet it seems like you love Jesus more through it. Like how have you done that?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to go into the whole story, but in end of 2020, beginning of 2021, I was diagnosed with cancer, had surgery, went through treatment. Everything looked great, went away. And then about a year later, they discovered more tumors that have come back. And so we're kind of still in kind of the second phase of watching and living with it and all that. It does have the power to send you one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. But it's interesting in 2 Corinthians, oh my gosh, what is it? I'll find it. 2 Corinthians 5, maybe. Give me a second. I'll find it. Or maybe it's 12. Yeah. This is where Paul talks about the thorn in his side.
Yeah.
So here's what he says. So to keep me from becoming conceited because of the surpassing greatness of the revelation. So here's Paul, Paul's going, man, I have seen the Lord do some things in my life. Like some like he got revelation. Like none of us can say that. You know what I mean? But like by God's grace, I've seen some amazing things happen. I've been a part of some ministries, whatever. But what he says is to keep him from becoming conceited because of being in this world of seeing God move powerfully. He says a thorn was given me. Given me.
Not the best gift.
Yeah.
In the flesh. And then he says a messenger of Satan. So he just says Satan is the one that delivered this thing.
Yeah.
And then he doubles back down to keep me from becoming conceited. And what's so interesting about that is like Satan doesn't want to keep you from becoming conceited.
Right.
Satan wants you conceited.
Yeah.
Satan wants pride in you. And so, I mean, I know this is like deep, sticky waters, but I had to get to the place where I went, all right, Lord, if you saw fit, whether you want to say gave or allowed, doesn't matter to me, whatever. But if you saw fit for cancer to be a part of my life, then God, I don't want to waste a moment of this cancer. And would you please do whatever it takes to get me to be more like Jesus because of this thing?
Wow.
And I just thought, what a waste if we beat cancer. And then I look less like Jesus on the back end of it.
Wow.
You know, it's like the old, like, would you want to go to heaven if Jesus wasn't there?
Yeah.
Then you don't really want to go to, like, heaven's heaven because Jesus is there.
Yeah.
Like, I just, and it goes on and he says, but 3 times I pleaded with the Lord. I think it's just like, I begged and I begged and I begged. And I did. My wife and I still do. Like, we pray all the time, Lord, like, heal it. And we thought he did, and then it came back.
Yeah.
Like, so, and he begs the Lord for this thing that it should leave me. And then I love this, but he is like, but God stepped into the middle of that and said, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness. And then he says, therefore, I'll boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest on me. For the sake of Christ, then I'm content in my weaknesses. And I just thought, well, if that's what God is going to do in Paul's life,
Yeah.
how much more is that going to be true of mine? Like, he's going to use my weakness and my frailty more than he's going to use my bowing up.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get more glory out of me if I have nothing else, and then just go, it's all you. All I have is you.
Yeah.
That brings God way more glory than I got this. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can handle this. I think, and hopefully other people will see Jesus more when I get to the point where all I have is Jesus. Not, look how great my life. I think it's a way more powerful testimony to say he's good enough. Like, he's sufficient. Even when my life looks terrible.
Yeah.
I think that's a way more compelling apologetic for Jesus than, look at all the bells and whistles in my life and how great it is.
Yeah.
Like, you too should follow him because he'll give you trinkets.
Is your team ready to thrive? Do they have the resources and clarity that they need to succeed? In our team coaching sessions, we provide the tools and principles needed to drive health and growth, and most importantly, clarity in your organization. We believe that clarity brings the confidence to lead effectively. So many times we're too close to the problems to see them correctly. And through coaching, we're able to bring objectivity and no emotional attachment to help you see your organization clearly. Together, we'll develop a strategic path that empowers your team to implement best practices and take on new challenges with confidence. Let's unlock your team's potential. Want to learn more? Head over to sidecarleader.com/coaching and let's talk about your goals and how we can help you accomplish them.
Like, I know we can sit here and talk about it and that sounds easy. Like, it's hard. I mean, like, just a few months ago, like, I have to go back and do all these tests all the time. And one of the markers we're looking at, like, a bad test came back. And I remember sitting on the couch just crying with my wife going, I don't want to, like, I don't want this, what comes after this test.
Yeah.
Like, this test means this for the rest of our lives. And I just wept, like, scared, angry, you know what I mean? Like, so to have all of those emotions, they don't all disappear and go away. No, by God's grace, the test was a fluke. Like, it wasn't, but it didn't mean those emotions weren't any more real at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like,
So let me ask you this, because you're walking through that, but still have the burden of leadership to carry and the midst of that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you figure out how do I find the right places to process this.
Yeah.
Privately, and maybe some publicly, without also just bleeding on the people
Totally.
that you're supposed to be leading.
Absolutely. Like, it is, because I think we live in a day where authenticity and vulnerability is up on the forefront.
With social media trends that we're
Right. Exactly. And I think there is a right amount of authenticity and vulnerability. Like, you being fake and not you in front of doesn't help anybody. But there is also it's like every preacher knows, if I just tell you all my sin problems all the time, eventually everybody's like, well, you're not painting a compelling picture for Christ transforming my life, or should I trust you? So I do think I can't just process cancer from the pulpit. Like, that's not good, So, yeah, I mean, we had to walk through, when do I tell my parents? When do we tell our kids? When do we engage the congregation? All these things, But we did, we let people into that.
Yeah.
I think more at the moment that was best for them rather than what was best for me. Kristen knew instantaneously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're one. So
Yeah.
she needed to know, and I needed her to know.
Yeah.
But from that point on, it was like, who can handle this information at this point?
Yeah.
Because it was also a long road of discovery.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like I hurt one day and then found out I had cancer the next.
Yeah.
It was months and months and months and months and months of diagnosing.
Yeah.
And so it was like, do I need to put my parents through that during diagnosis? Do I need to put my kids through that? But then it was like, my pastors and elders should know this. Like, I don't need to keep the biggest thing in my life from them.
Yeah.
But I also didn't stand in the pulpit
Yeah.
telling the congregation that. So
Yeah.
I'm not naturally the most empathetic person. When I was young, I'm 50 now. When I was young, I used to wear that thing like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Like, I would kind of bow up and be proud that I wasn't real caring. And I would tell you, like, oh, I'm not the most caring person. Like, I'm driven and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a leader, and I almost pitted care against leadership.
Mm.
And this thing wrung the last of that out of me.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing how suffering, walking through some pain, walking through some stuff will birth in you some empathy and compassion for people.
Yeah. Like,
It'll soften you up a little bit.
It did, man. I'm way softer. I'm no less driven.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, it's like, I got a limited number of days on this earth.
Yeah.
So in some ways it's like, gas pedal down, let's go. But I'm not going to run over somebody nearly as easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think the Lord just has made me pause when somebody cracks open the door of a little bit of pain in their life.
Yeah.
And I would have just flown right by it in the past.
Yeah.
And I watched the way people who were leaders in my life care for us and for my family.
Yeah.
In some of the intense seasons. And I'm like, well, that actually makes me want to follow you more.
Yeah.
Like
the
chair of our elder board showed up at 5 a.m. outside the hospital. He couldn't come in the hospital because of COVID the day I was having surgery. And he sat out in the dark on the front step waiting for Kristen and I to show up. And then he prayed over us.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I'll follow that man.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I'm like, all right, well then why I should do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, that smells like Jesus.
Yeah.
You know?
And you're not saying that because of some great vision that he had or because of some great skill set or charisma, but because of such a high level of care that he had.
Yeah. It was just it was just a godly Christ-like thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
what's fascinating? We talked about what we call relational oversight, not just managerial one-on-ones, but it's you're building relationship.
Yeah.
you're getting into their life, their world, and you're caring for them.
Yeah.
And that's what, there's a portion that is managerial.
Yeah.
But we actually coach and train on a piece that's really, we call it, it's the care portion.
So good.
And so we posted, this was, I don't know, a couple of years ago, there was a video that went pretty viral. And so naturally I'm like, why did this go viral? So I'm watching it numerous times and I start reading the comments. And it was fascinating how many people commented negatively about that post around specifically the care piece. And they were, and for the most part, I don't think these were people in churches. It was in the quote unquote business world, whatever. But they're like, this is ridiculous. Like, no one cares, no one. And it just really was a moment for me to see, like, this is really, there's so many toxic, unhealthy environments that people are working in where there is no care at all. Yeah. It's bottom line.
So how do you guys coach around that? I'd love to, like,
well,
what does that look like?
I think we just keep, I tell my story about how this is the best way that I can help people is I tell a story of, like, when I was a part of an organization that really the only time there was a one-on-one meeting was when you were in trouble. And then I go on staff at this other church and that's where I learned this relational oversight culture and just how deeply it impacted my life and how, like what you're saying, the more I felt cared for, the more I wanted to contribute. It wasn't like, oh, I got a cush setup now, I'm going to be lazy. Actually, because I felt so cared for, it actually increased my productivity. Yeah.
What if your team had a clear roadmap for the next 12 months on what was most important, complete with objectives, key metrics, owners, and deadlines? And not only that, but also the accountability to see the plan through. Through our team planning offsites, we're able to help you unlock and identify where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. With a focus on goals, key metrics, and actionable strategies, we'll build a plan that keeps you on track all year and provide the accountability to ensure that you execute what you planned. If you plan your work and you work your plan will work if it's a good plan. If you're ready to set up your team for success, clarity, and a clear roadmap moving forward, you can go to sidecarleader.com/coaching and let's make your vision a reality.
And not that they were doing it for that, but it's just the natural occurrence from it. And then I'll tell a little personal story around one time I was so embarrassed. I went to my son's school, and it was like, you go, all the parents come and you're seeing what the kid's been working on. Well, I opened his folder sitting at his desk, and one of the pictures that he drew was a picture of him crying with me disciplining him, like correcting him.
Yeah.
And I remember shutting it really quick. I was like, this makes me look like a terrible father. And it really messed with me. So I talked to my coach, my life coach, about it. And I was like, here's what happened. Here's how it made me feel. And he said, well, tell me about your one-on-one time with your son. And so I started describing time with our entire family, like the hanging out as a family. He goes, no. I mean, your one-on-one time with your son. And I started thinking about it. And I started telling him, I was like, I think most of the time where I'm one-on-one with my son is when I'm correcting him. Wow. And it was like an eye-opening moment where I realized my son has no time where I'm just spending time with him, caring for him, celebrating him. And usually it was always with the family. And so I changed that. But it's fascinating. I think there's a lot of people that are on staff at organizations, churches, companies, whatever. The only time they're with their manager, their boss, their pastor is in moments like that where they're just being corrected, being rebuked, being, or even just coached up, but never just with, how are you, caring for you, And I think that people would be surprised at how much more their people would buy into the vision, buy into what they're doing, the mission, if they felt more cared for. And one of the things we do whenever we go to churches, whenever we're consulting with churches, we send out a survey. And one of the big questions in there is, do you feel cared for?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of pastors think, my people feel cared for. But then you get that blind survey back. You're like, maybe not.
Do you think it's like, because the pastor or the senior leader, whoever, feels like they're going to get taken advantage of? Probably. Or they'll get perceived as being soft? Or
I also think that there's a duality of relationship when it comes to the church. And when you go on staff, that person who was your pastor is now your boss.
Yeah, it's sticky, isn't it?
It's so,
And so I think a lot of people enter that space because they love their pastor, and now they're your boss and they're holding you accountable to things. And I think
Well, you guys have lived that out.
oh
You
yeah.
had to navigate that. Like,
And I think it's
Yeah.
easier to lean into one dimension of that relationship
yeah,
than have to hold the tension of,
Sure.
I need to lean into pastor right now, or I need to lean into
yeah, and the transactional is always easier, isn't it?
always.
Like,
it is.
if I can just in positional leadership is the lowest form of leadership.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing the boss card,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah. So I think that's why we want to help churches be efficient, be effective, do more of the thing that God has put in the pastor's heart and accomplish more of the vision, while also making sure that the people responsible for caring for the rest of the church are being cared for as well.
sure.
And that it's flowing through that way as well. So I think that's why. It's just because there's this messy duality of relationship
Totally.
that happens in the church of team versus family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys are doing it like we're here, pulled away, you know, it's relationship time.
Yep.
Big relationship. But like, it's not inefficient. It actually it may feel like it in the moment to stop for 3 or 4 days, but like that will actually create so much effectiveness and efficiency long term.
Yeah.
You know, that level of care.
Yeah, I think it's just so fascinating that when I have heard senior pastors teaching at a leadership conference or something like that, and they're trying to be humorous when they say this kind of stuff, but they're like, I hired you not to pastor you. I hired you to help me pastor people. And they're, you know, I'll hear that and I cringe a little bit because I'm like, but they still need a pastor.
Mhm.
They still need someone to care for.
Yeah.
They still need someone to disciple them, to pour into them. Yes, they're co-laboring with you to minister to the masses or whatever, but make no mistake about it, they need care too.
Yeah.
And I think it's still, if you're, I don't know,
And I don't think we're trying to swing the pendulum all the way over here to like, it should only be care. How are you? We're never discussing things organizationally. We're never holding people accountable because they're not doing well in one area of life or whatever. I just think it's both and.
It's both and.
Yeah. And the way we coach it is just in your relational oversight time. The first piece is care. So it's just asking, how are you? Second piece is communicating.
I go cover. I go cover.
Cover.
It's like, is there anything I need to know that I don't know?
Yeah.
Sometimes things come up like, we overspent in this area. Great.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk through that and let's figure this out. Or there's some drama.
Yeah.
And they tell them, then I ask questions around it, you know, and then it goes to it's care.
Confront.
Yeah. Care, cover, confront, or correct, coach, whatever you want to put there. And I ask myself, is there any area that I need to speak into that I've noticed a pattern? I say patterns are problems. And that's where a little coaching comes in. And it's not every single week, but I at least ask the question and then communicate, which is all right, open our laptops. It's all the managerial stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think starting with that care piece, like when I first started doing oversight with him, how many years has it been now? 10. Yeah. He is a high producing person. He wants to, let's get it done.
Yep.
And so he'd come to the desk, that computer's open, he's ready. Right. And I would shut it, slide it, you know.
Yeah. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
He's like, we're wasting time. And I'm like, man, how you doing?
I'll slide it.
You know? And I would say stuff like, this guy's speaking to you. What do you feel like guy's doing? What are you excited about right now? You know?
Yeah.
Some of that. And so I think that I would, if I could paint a picture for churches that we work with, is like we want to help you do what God's put in your heart, but not burn through people in the process.
And part of it is like, if my identity is wrapped up in my position as pastor, leader, title, all of that sort of stuff, which are wonderful, great things, and I'm not dealing with like what's going on internally in me, long term, it's of little consequence, like how great a leader I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like long term, nobody's standing up at my funeral, doing a memorial service about leadership. Hopefully they're going to talk about how much I loved them and cared for them,
Yeah.
and you know that.
The program that you built.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
that's the other side of it. Is I don't just want this like God kind of softened to my heart, and then look at the dividends it paid organizationally.
Yeah.
Like it's good enough in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm just a healthier
Yeah.
That's great.
person. Hopefully I look a little bit more like Jesus, you know.
Yes.
And some people, it just doesn't take that.
Yeah.
And God, I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
God, you know,
Yeah.
like I hope the Lord can do his work without doing it.
Another thing I think about all the time, I think about this question, like, will people have to lie about me to eulogize me at my funeral to make me sound better than what I was?
Yeah. Like, okay. So, I'm not dying. I'm not anywhere close to dying. I mean,
Let's not die, guys.
Right.
Let's stay alive.
Well,
What is
yeah.
Christian?
Yeah. We're especially here. Like, yeah. But I have been working on my memorial service.
Wow.
My own, like I've been not like what people would say, but I've been putting together partly like I had a friend who did it, and I just thought this would be the kind thing to do for my wife. Like if I should die before her,
Wow.
shouldn't have to like figure all this out. Right. But it does make you think like,
What a fun side project.
yeah, it's real fun.
My wife,
Under your
my
own
wife,
death.
she does not want a funeral.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want a funeral. And I'm happy. We're going to have a funeral for you whenever you.
The rest of us
Yeah.
want one.
She was like, she's like, nope. She was like, y'all throw a party. She was like,
good.
I'm like, babe, so she doesn't know this. I'm going to plan a funeral for her. If she goes out before me,
Yeah.
she wants a big party. But
I got a note on my phone that's when I die. It's my when I die note. And it's just, here's what needs to happen when I die. But
it is a gift. It is, you're right. It is a gift. Cause my friend Steve that passed away, he planned out everything. And his wife did not have to think through one thing, not just the funeral, but every aspect. And it was a gift. It was a crazy process because I walked with him through it.
Yeah.
And I need to do that.
But I bet very little will be said about my like leadership abilities.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You're
I
a
hope.
phenomenal preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe that'll be a part of it. But
Yeah. That's great. Man, thank you so much for taking some time.
what a way to end, right on a funeral on that note.
Yeah. It's good.
That's great. Let's leave them with that.
Let's leave them with that. Live with the end in mind. That's what we're trying to say, people. No, it's good. Hey, I'm serious, man. I said it starting out, but I really love you, and I love how you love Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
That's my favorite thing about you.
Yeah.
You're a great leader, great communicator, all those things. Doctor, good doctor. You're all that. But the thing I love about you the most is your passion for Jesus, and it is genuine.
well, man, you guys, you have helped me do that. And like where we are right now while we're recording this and the days we're doing it, like you've made that possible in my life. I'm grateful for it.
Oh, we love you. Man.
Thankful for you.
Thanks, man.